But it said 80% of settlers are economic, not religious. And they interviewed a man who talked about the square footage he had. And this is something that isn't just true in Palestine. It's true in New York. It's true in other places, that if you want to live inside Jerusalem, you're only going to have, when I stayed in a hostel in Jerusalem right next to the Dome of the Rock. And, I just had a bed, and and our hostel itself was not very large. But if you want to stay in Jerusalem, you're going to pay a lot for a little. But if you move outside of the city, you're going to get a lot more for not that much more. And so the man talks about the mathematics of it. He says, here's how many square meters I would have had in Jerusalem. And for this much more, here's what I get out here. He doesn't sound religious at all. He says, I'm not a Zionist. And he shows another guy who's like a hippie. He's got a bridal van, sort of, van life, living out. So, no, I'm not a Zionist. In fact, my mom was a Presbyterian or whatever else. And so they're taking advantage of things. So the idea that all the settlers are murderous Zionist thugs is perhaps something I thought prior to watching this. And I'm not saying that that's not necessarily the case, but there's certainly a segment, because later, the very next segment interviews some of these kids who call themselves the Hilltop Youth. And they're sort of the cutting edge of what the settlers probably were in 1967, going in, daring the government to arrest them, and fighting for Zionist rights. And